So we got to start something right now. Democrats don't seem like they got a plan. Republicans don't seem like they got a plan for us. So how the hell you gonna vote for them? Make them, make them earn that vote. They can start today. They ain't got it yet.
Good morning, all you red-blooded, hard-working American citizens. Welcome back to my table. So, fortunately enough, I had the right reasons to leave my crappy job, which was for a corporation. Honestly, I liked a lot of aspects of my job. I enjoyed most people I worked with, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to participate in a system that just doesn't want to fix its issues. There's no way. It finally came to a head. So I was working at a factory job. Making enough money to where a true conservative can get by. Not getting rich, under $36,000 each year. And part of the reason why I liked this job was because I could go in and run machines, and I'm good at running machines, and I enjoy it. But actually running a machine really good to the best of my ability actually makes people upset for whatever rhyme or reason. I don't know all of them, but I can definitely assume it's because it makes them feel kind of like inferior, like they're not doing something right when they run that machine, because I make numbers, which means I know I'm making my boss money or my business owners money. And I always ask them for it. Anyway, I ran into a situation that I definitely know a lot of younger people go through, which is why they leave their job, except they quit. I resign because I turn in my 2 weeks notice, which lets them know that I am choosing to leave this crappy job, and that's all I owe you is 2 weeks. And I definitely tried to honor that through my life. So, a fellow coworker that is disgruntled because she was there for 8 years and dealt with all the whatever they always ask you to do more, which is a thing in the factory business and in the restaurant business. It's just how it's been my whole life. We, the bottom people, have to do more so that way the upper people can make more money. It's just the way capitalism turned into, right? No real benefits for us. So, this disgruntled employee, we both bid on the same job. She's been there 8 years. I've only been there, a year and a half. I'm good at running machines. She does what she does. But she always complains to everybody about anything instead of actually just doing her job. Them people, those employees, we've all worked with them. We all see it. Sometimes we participate in it. But she's terrible. So then, because she's so upset and disgruntled about having to even go in that place so she can make a paycheck and pay her bills or whatever, she ended up coming after me. I spent the last 15 years of my life learning, specifically looking and learning and dealing with those people. Because whatever. I go to a job knowing how much I'm making, and I choose to go there every day that I show up, right? Which is my choice for being there. And since I'm getting paid to do a job, folks, I always do the best job I can. Always. Now, if I'm not being treated fairly, then I will turn in my 2 weeks notice and I can go learn how to do anything else that I want to learn how to do. So that's what I've done. I've spent a lot of my life doing that. But if the company's going to be fair, I'll stick around and keep on doing the best I can, which is very tiring in a manufacturing job when your goal every day is to do more. So, what I have here is some statements. Because I utilized every step of a corporate structure or anything to try to communicate the fact that this woman thinks that it's okay because I got the job bid over her to come up to me, which technically I'm kind of her boss, but I don't like bossing people around. I just try to show them the first step of leadership, which is lead by example. So they see me working hard, they work hard too. I like to see people choosing to do that. And if I can do anything about it, I reward them. I definitely reward them if I can. Just because they want to help me actually get the job done. Anyway, I let this woman come up to me twice and yell at me in front of other employees. Second time got bad. She's like, "You effed up." She walks up, "You effed up," and just starts going off. As soon as she did that, I posted up. I had a shit-eating grin on my face because I knew what I was going to do. And she gave it to me one last time, so to speak. So then, because I've been communicating with my bosses up the chain about how she is treating me, they're like, "Well, write a statement." So this is my first statement that I wrote. Bear with me, I'm not a reader guy, but I wrote, "I am sad to say that this is an issue and that it needs to be addressed as soon as possible. I have been as patient as I can be with this individual as possible, but I have had enough of the abuse that Michelle keeps pushing upon me. As most people know, Michelle has disliked me since I started here. We never worked together till now, but this was told to me by someone very close to her. That was fine to me because I didn't have to work directly with her. Now that I have the new job in the basement, I have things that I am expected to do, and I have to ask her simple questions. Because I got the job bid instead of her, she has yelled at me in front of other employees, Kimmy, when I ask her questions that I have to for my job. She will throw our products down and talk to me in a disgusted tone and very unprofessional ways. She will directly come to me and push her very unprofessional attitude upon me and boss me around like a bully in a school does. She talks down to me. She talks bad about me behind my back to others, assuming and spreading lies about me. That produces a bad culture and low morale in a team environment. Today, I was doing inventory and she came to me pointing her finger and dropping F-bombs at me, accusing me of doing things that I did not do in front of other employees. And then I say, Ben, stating other people seen this. First one was Kim, and then today was Ben. At this time, I need something done about this issue. I have been verbally communicating with Greg and Tina about my concerns on this issue. I understand that some hands are tied, but at this time, change needs to accrue. I believe the best course of action would be to move her out of the basement and someplace I do not have to communicate with her at all. I have taken enough of her verbal abuse and attitude towards me, and if this is something that I have to accept in order to work here, then it might be time for me to move on. Even though I really enjoy the work I do here, I love running their machines. There is a reason why I came back to Stone Ridge, and I hope that it doesn't have to come to me leaving because of one person that doesn't like me. Thank you for your time. That was my first statement, folks. So then the ball got rolling. It went to human resources. I talked to the human resource department. We sat down, talked about it. He said he's going to handle it. It's going to take a little bit of time. Fine. So then that was before Christmas, actually. So then on 1/08/2024, after they told me that they fixed her and this woman does not have to, I don't have to deal with her anymore, right? She's still down in the basement. She's still right there, but I don't have to deal with her. She's not going to talk to me at all. She's not going to come invade my space and make me have to hear her negativity and just F this and that's a stupid. Don't do that when I direct people to do something. She's like, that's stupid. You don't have to do that. Right? Type of attitude. So then I wrote this. Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to utilize your machines, because this is the second time I've been to that factory, to the best of my ability, because I'm pretty darn good at running them machines. Through the past 2 years and working in 4 departments, I have seen and learned a lot. My time here was mostly enjoyable and very educational. I appreciate the opportunity that you have to offer employees with the willingness to listen, learn, and engage in a teamwork environment in order to maximize their potential and income. And I said that because through the course of a year and a half, I was able to increase my salary or income by 24%. Thank you to everyone that helped me with that process. I definitely appreciate it, right? So I was actually really liking my job and working with the company with a heart, with a good work ethic. Like, you can make money, or you could raise your income by 24%. Therefore, I could actually afford the inflation. Anyway, I am sad to inform you that because of the current issue that has accrued with Michelle and her verbally abusive communications with me, not only me, but others as well through her time here, and with no resolution in sight, I am pursuing my exit plan / notice. Since I have got the lead op job in the basement, her attacks towards me started because I got the job instead of her. I believe that I have followed the proper protocols. I expressed my concerns with Tina and Greg. Greg finally told me to write a statement that I turned in, and it went up to human resources. I have been very patient with the process. Taking the holidays into consideration, I was hoping that after the holidays that something would have changed, but instead it is the same old. Since we have returned, I have to still hear her talk to others saying it's all effed up about the department in her nasty tones. She is put in spaces that I have to work with her to the point that I am expected to talk to her about the job she is doing. And just today, I heard another rumor that has been released upon me about supposedly getting in someone's purse. I won't even get into my own mother's purse if she tells me to. But what I will do is grab her purse and take it to her and let her dig through that thing. Rumors. This is what usually occurs next if they're not winning. So, as we go on, I spent the past 15 years of my life working in different environments just to find out why the turnover rate is so high in the manufacturing and restaurant industries. It's true. I started at the bottom, and I know why. I can tell you that because of this issue, verbal abuse in the workplace is the cause of at least 25% of the turnover rate. I can also say that she is not the only person within the company that does this to other people. Y'all got jobs. Y'all know those people that just makes you walk out of work pissed off when, like, and you can't stay away from them. Every job's got them. They're disgruntled old employees that need to leave. Or else the other people will. Just like I got done doing. Because I ain't tolerating that shit. I'm done with that. It's an issue at every job. So, I believe that the best course of action would be to finally fire her for this issue. Because I'm not the only one. I had people coming up telling me about how she did the same thing and they were about ready to quit. But I also sat out and smoked cigs on break, talking to people that specifically pointed her out, saying, I'm leaving. I'm thinking I'm not going to be here if I got to deal with that. So, I believe that the best course of action would be to finally fire her for this issue. This would show the others that do the same, verbally abuse other coworkers, that this type of work condition is not going to be tolerated within the company anymore. That is the best advice I can give any human resource department person that has that shitty job right now to do about those people. And I'm giving you that for free because I'm tired of watching you do what you do, which is not care, which your turnover rate's going to get higher. Just totally be worse. But that's job security for you, right? I don't know. I don't want a job where my numbers look like shit. But anyway, because I care about the company and the people within, I am giving a month's notice of my leaving the company unless this situation is resolved in a timely manner. If there's anything I can do to make this transition easier for you, then by all means let me know what I can do to help. Thank you for your time and concern. Nathan Russell. That was at the 108 of this year through 208 this year. So through that time, folks, communicated with human resources. They ran some investigation or whatever they do about the rumor. Him and my second highest boss, second to higher boss, me, him, and them sat down in the office, and they both reassured me that she will not talk to me and or be in my, be in my space where I gotta deal with her. And I knew that wasn't gonna be a thing. Like, that's not real. Not with somebody like her. She's drawn to me for whatever reason. I told them that. I'm like, hey, I knew it was only a matter of time. So I prepared with my bills, right? With my money. And I prepared for this time. So finally, this woman, I see her still watching me, just getting mad as I'm running the snot out of a machine that she can't keep up with. So she went in and worked overtime to do it, she just fuming. So she was slowly but surely making her way over. Took actually till 02/10/24, approximately then, for her to finally make her way over here and start telling somebody, oh, that's stupid, you don't have to do that, he don't know. Because I asked her to do something that I was going to do regardless anyway, and she was extra. It's like, you got anything for me to do now? And I was like, well, you can. Because I never actually tell anybody to do anything. I always ask them, leadership skill 101. If you're a leader out there, you get a much better return if you ask folks to do shit instead of go do this or go do that. Stupids. Anywho, I had the opportunity to write this. I even labeled it, if you can see, FT. Fuck this. I'm out. Thank you once again for the opportunity to utilize your machines to the best of my ability, because I believe that my 2 years worth of work here was a most pleasurable experience, but because of the unfortunate situation with the following employee, Michelle, and her abusive actions to me at the workplace, I am sad to tell you that it is time for me to move on. I believe that I utilized every aspect of the corporate system and all the steps in the chains of command. This led all the way to human resource department, and still, without any resolution to the issue at hand, I have no choice other than to alleviate myself from this situation. As it stands, I am asking that you tell everyone that has to know that I am leaving, not to tell people that don't need to know. I always try to close out of a job with the same work ethic and a job well done in a team environment. And it is hard when my fellow coworkers are asking me questions about why. The offer is still on the table if you would like me to try and teach my replacement how to do the job and to the best of my ability. Thank you for your time, Nathan Russell. 2/12/24, 2/23/24. And that was just this past Friday. So I finally left a job that I enjoyed doing, but I ain't gonna get rich from it, and I sure as shit ain't gonna get any like retirement for it. Job, working at a corporate place, and that'll give me more time to spend with you guys. Now, I didn't leave this job. I know what most you folks are thinking. I did not leave this job because of one chick that does something that I totally can't stand us doing to each other. We all work with one of them. I left the job because at the highest levels in that building, they're unwilling to fix this problem. That, like I told you before, is 25% of the turnover rate. So if you're a parent, you raised your kids, they're off working at some other job, you're still working at your shitty ass job for 30 years that you've been over several times at, and it pisses you off, so you go into work pissed off and you take that shit out on everybody else, on other people's kids, actually. If you're one of them people, hey, you ain't gotta be. Now, if you're one of those parents that has kids that's going around job hopping, maybe you should sit down and ask them why. And I almost guarantee you, this whole story is exactly why. 90% of the time, hand down. That's why your kid keeps on going from one job to another. I'm willing to stand up about it. I know how to fix these things to actually slow down the turnover rate so that way you could produce a higher production rate with a lower scrap rate, in which a company could make buttloads more money than what they are. They're throwing money down the tubes. 25% of it is because of people like that. And I'm done. So I guarantee you, anybody that is watching this, I will never ever work for another corporation, because they're all like this. I've worked for enough of them for a paycheck. And I'm not going to work, well, in the restaurant and the factory businesses. Never. I guarantee it. Hands down. Now, if you ever see me in a corporation or a small business, but they own several factories, right? They still got their LLC, Limited Liability Corporation. If you do see me in one of those places, you better bet your balls I'm fixing this. And this is only 25% of the reason why everybody's turnover rate is super high. Guarantee you. I'm the guy working from the top down to fix these issues. Other than that, I'm cool. I spent my life learning and working in different environments to know I don't got to deal with that anymore. And I've already learned enough from all these red-blooded, hard-working American citizens that work in those places. I see you guys bent over, took it straight up the tailpipe every time. I understand why you're upset at your job and you don't try. But that ain't me. If I'm doing something, I'm always trying at it. Hope you folks got something from this. And good luck to all, and to each your own. Sooner or later, something's gonna give.